Some stories end in tragedy. Others get a second chance.
Go! Now! You are the knight to Princess Zelda. I trust that you understand your duty.
Hey guys, it's your boy, Thunder Boy, and today we are playing The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda is a franchise that has gotten a numerous amount of games. They literally have a game about crossbows. But one of the most influential games I have ever played was Breath of the Wild. I borrowed the game from my brother and was in love with it at first sight. I would play hours on hours, exploring Hyrule, collecting armor, solving puzzles, and even finishing the DLC. So when I heard Nintendo was making a game set before Breath of the Wild, I knew I had to pick it up. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. I was excited for this game, but when I played it, something was off. The gameplay was completely different from Breath of the Wild. It was something I never really played before. But I continued because it was connected to Breath of the Wild, until I stopped. The more I played, the more I just felt this was a needless spin-off that told a story that I already knew. Breath of the Wild already shown me the fall of Hyrule through memories and flashbacks, so why would I need this game? So I dropped it, and for years it caught dust in my backlog ever since. But that changes because of my series, A Gamer's Legacy, where I complete my whole backlog of games. So I'm giving this game a second chance, just to answer one question. Was I wrong about this game? Well, there is only one way to find out. Starting Age of Calamity again reminded me of the excitement I had years ago. It's been so long. I've pretty much forgotten most of what happens, so seeing this game in its full glory brought me back to the time where I would play Breath of the Wild. But nostalgia wasn't the reason I came back to this game. The gameplay was the real test.
Yeah. There's a link. Okay, regular attack is Y.
So the game is full of combat and fighting. It's just like how I remembered, but not in a good way. You see, I was overwhelmed with learning combos of attacks and killing all the enemies and all the bokoblins. They kept coming no matter how much I attacked, but killing all of them did make it better to play. Gave me a sense of satisfaction. I thought that I can only kill them by spamming the regular attack button and doing a few strong attacks. But I started to realize how a combination of regular attacks followed by a strong attack performs different moves, and so I started to think I was missing out on different combos, which made me anxious. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like when I'm missing out on a character and their moveset. I like to know everything. There were also bosses that had a lot of health, but I could kill them with a weak point smash, which would kill the boss, or at least do a lot of damage, making it easier on my fingers and not having to spam the whole time. Capturing outposts felt like a bit of a chore though. It basically was a bunch of enemies stuffed up in a little area, and then a bigger enemy comes out of nowhere, just to be killed by my sword easily. And the funny thing is, they were skippable. I didn't have to do them. So I felt that they were pretty useless overall. Though I was overwhelmed with everything, I felt I was starting to get the hang of this.
Oh, it's the little robot guy. Impa.
You! Help!
When Impa appeared and the tower rose out of the ground, I immediately felt like I knew where the story was going. Having played Breath of the Wild, none of this felt particularly new to me, though I don't remember the robot from Breath of the Wild. Moving on, Capturing the outposts were a breeze. I was already understanding some of the combos, and with the addition of the Sheikah Slate, it made the bosses easier to kill, since it allowed for more opportunities to kill them by a weak point smash. The Sheikah Slate gave me way more options than I remembered, and made me able to kill these bosses in a variety of ways. What made this game even more easier was the special bar. My special ultimate move doing a ton of damage to every enemy around. I felt powerful every time I performed it. But I feel like this game might get repetitive if I keep playing the same character over and over again. Oh, I get to play as Impa. Impa was, well, a pain in the butt to understand. I didn't know what I was doing, so I just started spamming buttons. But apparently, her character is involved with these symbols, which allows clones to fight for her, which is pretty cool, though I didn't understand this at the time. My relentless smashing of buttons allowed me to get multiple Impas to attack and deal massive damage to enemies. I mean, she was really fun to play with at the time, with me mowing all these enemies down, and her Sheikah Slate being completely different from Link's, with her able to ride her ice cube like a cowboy instead of just summoning it. I can appreciate that aspect of the game, and since they weren't fully lazy, but overall, I'm still having difficulty trying to have fun with this game in the combat. But we finally finished my first level, and I felt I was getting a grasp of things, which scared me because I didn't want to learn everything in the first battle. You know?
An inexplicable guardian and a mysterious tower.
Zelda.
You made it! I'm glad you're safe, Impa. Oh, what is that?
Your Highness.
Moving on from that though, we finally meet the girl herself, Zelda. And I guess we have to investigate the tower and the Sheikah Slate. Now we finally have access to the whole map and everything in it. We can even see the combos of each character. This made me think that this game is promising. I've always been a sucker for learning a character's moveset and how they work. The ability to utilize every aspect of their character truly satisfies me as a true gamer. The next mission though is where I start to realize what I was actually playing. I mean, the mission started off good with a great cutscene. You know, I started the mission, I started to realize how repetitive this game was becoming. I mean, the Guardian we had to fight was cool, but the mission required me to go to certain places, kill enemies, then activate the other Guardian. And this is just like the previous mission with going to certain places, killing enemies, and capturing outposts. This was when I started to realize I was bored. We even unlocked Zelda this mission, and that still wasn't enough to satisfy me. This scared me because this is only the second mission, and I'm already not enjoying the game. Maybe I was right about the gameplay and how it's not for me. But there was still a little inkling in me to keep going, mainly because of the story. Though I already knew the outcome and how they were going to fail, it made me invested to see the process and how they originally planned, because Age of Calamity actually fleshed out the story that Breath of the Wild didn't fully cover, especially the robot. Apparently the robot has images of the future in Calamity Ganon, and this got everyone worrying. This made me interested because I don't remember this robot at all from Breath of the Wild. Maybe it was a self-insert the game wanted you to have? I'm not sure. But because of the robot, King Rome decided that we need to gather all the champions, find the sword that seals the darkness, and Zelda has to awaken her sealing powers. All this made me even more interested in the game because I get to see the process unfold in front of my eyes, and the voice acting is not that bad. It's honestly solid.
Your duty is of the utmost importance. Are we clear?
Yes, we are clear. I understand.
Also, upgrades. We all love upgrading weapons. though I don't like how many different weapons Link has, since the variety kinda hurts my head. But my first realization that the combat wasn't actually that bad is that we can expand our combos. So now I can do more moves with one character as the game goes on. I believe there may be some more hope for this game. As a completionist, I did some more missions that weren't important to the story, but I just feel that I may need the extra levels from each mission so we don't fall behind when we take on more challenging levels. Now we have 4 areas to pick from to get our champions. I decided it was best to go to Sora's domain, since it was one of my favorite regions from Breath of the Wild, which I remember more than Age of Calamity. Also, getting to see Mipha again would be interesting because I was hoping that the champion story would make me care more for this game, since the gameplay was still lacking. King Dorephan, or Mipha's father, basically doesn't want Mipha to start fighting alongside with us, even though we have to recruit the champions. But suddenly these enemies start attacking, so I guess we gotta fight. Mipha is a character I expected to meet here. She is one of the better champions in my opinion. And she's not only a story character, but is the next character I am able to play. The story has been keeping me interested, but I'm not convinced that was enough to carry my whole experience. So being able to play Mipha opened up new horizons. She had very solid attacks and could kill monsters pretty quick, so using her made me actually want to play a little bit more. This started to make me think, how many more characters are we going to be able to play in this game? Well, let's just say they started to get creative. What made this mission even more better was the Lionel. This guy was fun to fight mainly because I was cooking this Lionel and was playing carefully, taking every opportunity to attack when needed, making this boss fight one of the moments that started to immerse me in this game. Though the next part of the game, I would have never guessed. We get to play as a giant elephant, shooting down enemies and freezing them to the ground. This made me a little bit bored, I'm not gonna lie. I felt like this should be a moment where I am excited and hyped, but I wasn't excited at all. The attacks were mid, and the special attacks like Icicle Barrage or Fling Upward are not eye candy. They don't look good and don't even kill all the monsters in the area. I get that they didn't want to make the game super easy, but it really destroys my immersion when I'm this massive giant elephant, yet I can't kill all these enemies very easily with special moves. Though the special beam was cool to use. We finished the mission with ease, but I wasn't too happy with it. King Dorephan says Mipha can join now. Because she can't. But imagine if he was like, nah, she gotta stay. That would have been funny. But it's good to have you on the team, Mipha. Next is Death Mountain, since it's the closest area we can go to, and we're going to recruit Daruk.
What you'll learn about me is that I never refuse a sincere request. So of course I'm on board with your plan.
Well, that was easy. Okay, I guess we can move on.
There is one problem.
Of course. Well, now we gotta climb this huge mountain. I have a feeling this won't be easy. We get Daruk as a playable character, and I must say, I was not a fan. Though I felt like I was killing enemies faster, I felt that his ability to blow up rocks he summons is a bit lackluster. You go through a whole combo, and once you finish that combo, it will summon a rock, which we can blow up. But my problem with this is that the enemies are never near the rock, so it's completely useless. And even when they are near the rock, it does little damage, when I could have just done a combo that would have done way more damage. I would even say his ability is a bit useless. The boss was basically a fire rock, and I used Link for once, since he's the main character and I've gotten more used to his moveset. But I did use Daruk for the other, since I don't want him to sit on the bench for this whole mission. We got another divine beast we have to pilot. I'm not too excited for this one, considering the last mission, but shockingly, this was fun. The divine beast was way more destructive and would blow up enemies. Plus, its big step was actually decent, unlike the elephant trunk. Also, you can never go wrong with the special beam. You just never go wrong with that.
Whoa.
My favorite, prime rock roast.
That doesn't look good.
Doesn't it look delicious?
No,
Why
it
don't
looks
you
too
dig
hot.
in, little guy?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
we move on from Death Mountain to Rito Village. Before that, I do find it very important to mention that I did a mission with Zelda in between. And this made me truly understand how to use her character. She has a very small moveset, but once you start to understand how to use her, she's actually not that bad. I discredited her from before because I viewed her limited moveset as a downside of this game. But I started to realize that a simple moveset doesn't make it bad. It's actually usable and gives me a reasonable challenge. But enough of that side content, let's get back to the main story.
While I'm here, you won't be getting any closer.
Chill, Ka, chill. We're on the same side.
So, I'm confused. Why am I fighting my allies? Like, I should be fighting the Rito, but here we are. Though, I'm starting to remember that Rivali always never liked Link, so it will be interesting what's going to happen in this confrontation. But I guess let's beat up Rivali. To start out, I do a nice flurry rush on him, making him feel like I have so much aura for dodging his first move. Though he was still tough to fight, but I always rise up to a challenge, and with Impa there to double team, though she was pretty much useless, we take him out.
Crap. Link, lock in, bro.
You may think you're good.
Oh. Is it oil?
I'm better.
That's aura.
Stop, please!
Okay, maybe this game is actually good. That cutscene was peak. At the end of the day, though, we do recruit Rivali, though he does try to roast us. But I already know he will be a good asset to the team. Also, I can admire this mission for switching things up. I was afraid that recruiting the champions would be the same formula of fighting enemies, fighting an enemy boss, and doing a divine beast. But this was way different, with actually fighting my ally. Also, I must admit, Rivali might be one of the best characters in the game. I kinda liked him from Breath of the Wild, and I feel like his character got fleshed out way more in Age of Calamity, which I can appreciate. We also get to play him, so that's a relief. I thought we would just fight him as a boss, so I excitedly played him with his complicated moveset, and it was fun. Though I didn't like how he had two modes of being on the ground or in the air, I still enjoyed the playstyle, though his damage wasn't the best. But I say we go recruit our last champion.
Urbosa will surely be able to explain everything if we can reach her.
Well, this is weird. First the birds, now the Gerudo? I mean, the people we are trying to recruit hate us. Surely getting to Urbosa will solve this problem because last I checked, Urbosa and Zelda are friends.
Urbosa! Why? What are you doing?
Thwarting your destiny, of course. Princess Zelda. I came back as quickly as I could.
Some water here. You've got some nerve, thinking you can go toe-to-toe with Master Koga!
Oh, now it makes sense. Well, now we get to play Urbosa, and it was weird to play with her. Her moveset was completely different from any other character because charging up her lightning was very important to perform strong moves. But I actually started to enjoy her moveset the more I played with her. I started to like the challenge she brought, and when I did have my lightning fully charged up, I could deliver powerful attacks to enemies. Also, look at my name. Of course I'm going to like the Lightning Woman. We fought the boss master, Koga, and may I say that this guy is weird. Yet he's the boss of the Yiga Clan? Like, make that make sense. Destroying him was a little rough, considering how unpredictable he is. But the next thing I see really got me shocked. Suga is buff. How is he not the boss? Anyway, Urbosa easily agrees to pilot the Divine Beast and our work here is done.
So, you turned and fled. Is that it? Oh, no matter. Harbinger, show me the future. The future, as it will and must be. I will not allow anyone to alter its course.
Well, that was an ominous cutscene. At this point, I was just doing some side missions for extra levels and upgrades. But honestly, there wasn't much to say about them. They were blended together with defeating enemies and capturing outposts. If anything, this just reinforced one of my main concerns about this game. The gameplay still wasn't doing enough to keep me engaged. Thankfully, we're not done with the story yet, which is the only thing carrying the game right now. The next chapter we have to embark on was focused on the Yiga Clan again. I was expecting that goofy ninja Koga to show up, but a better surprise that I didn't expect was Suga, becoming one of the more exciting parts of the game. Of course, we have to do the basic stuff like beat the Yiga Blade Masters, but we get a new boss called the Hinox. I specifically remember this guy from Breath of the Wild, and seeing him in this game actually brought me back to those old memories, which gave me a morale boost to keep going. But that wasn't even the best part of this mission, because like I said before, we get to actually fight Suga. Everything about this fight was awesome, because Suga gave a decent challenge. Also, his whole character design just made me happy. He's a buff ninja that can throw hands, or swords in this manner. What more could you need? But Link, I was able to beat him, still because Link is the GOAT.
Nah, that's not gonna work. You're fine, bro.
But more importantly, this was the point where I wasn't just playing for the story anymore. Don't get me wrong, I was still invested with all the champions, Zelda, and this weird little robot, but between experimenting with different characters, fighting bosses like Suga, and unlocking new abilities, I started noticing that I was having fun with the gameplay itself. Now, I didn't change overnight, but this one particular mission in Korok Forest really opened my eyes to the gameplay. So, let me set the scene. We're going to Korok Forest for the Master Sword, right? My expectation was already high because I knew that my boy Link was going to wield it. I mean, I was waiting for this since the start of the game, so they had to do this moment right. But what was more of a surprise was the fact I got to control Va Meadow, Rivali's Divine Beast, and honestly, the best Divine Beast section. What made this Divine Beast so different was that I could switch shooting from air to land. It was a whole new take on the Divine Beasts. I mean, shooting down Hinoxes, enemies flying, it was awesome, with raining down destruction from the sky, like I'm the Air Force or something. But once we cleared all the outposts, we were able to enter the Korok Forest, and this next turn of events have to be one of the worst parts in the game, and it almost ruined all the hype I had. So we meet Hestu, and he's playable. You know, I always love a new character to play, you know, don't get me wrong, but Hestu is like so random for me. Like, someone was in that boardroom and we're like, what if we make Hestu a playable character? Everyone's going to love it! Yeah, well, I'm not that guy. Also, his moveset was doo-doo. He just used Koroks to fight. It was stupid. Thankfully, Hestu wasn't the only reason I came to the Korok Forest. The real reason was waiting for us.
What? Yeah, he's the chosen hero. Bro, pick up the sword. Come on, let's just do it.
What?
Yeah, buddy. You're facing the legendary hero. Here we go, baby! If that's not Aura, I don't know what is.
Oh, we finally did it! Gaining the Master Sword and being able to one-shot all these enemies, I felt powerful. Unstoppable even. But there is always one guy in the way. Astor was an interesting foe because he was not going down without a fight. He was bulky, having so much health, even though I had the strongest sword in the game. But we still took him out at the end of the day because, well, it's still the Master Sword, like he ain't winning against that. I can confidently say that was one of the best missions we had to do yet, until I got reminded that we unlocked Testu, then that ruined it for me. But other than that letdown, it was a very good mission and made me more interested on what I could do with this new sword. So when there was a dedicated mission based on the use of the Master Sword and Link, well, I made sure not to hold back, and went on a killing spree. I also learned moves that stunned enemies no matter what they're doing. This is an interesting mechanic, because I could interrupt their attacks each time if I performed the combo correctly. When I found out the mechanic, I was starting to realize that there was more to the gameplay after all. This was the complete turning point for me. This is where I started to enjoy the combat more and more. Even though I was starting to enjoy the gameplay more, there was still one major problem hanging over the entire experience. I already know how it's going to end in Breath of the Wild. Everyone basically dies. We lose the war, and Link has to sleep in a chamber for 100 years, while Zelda fights Calamity Ganon. I feel like knowing all this kinda ruins the whole immersion aspect. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still appreciate the story. We get a solid deep dive into each character and their personality, which we don't get in Breath of the Wild. I just wish we could change the future. The next few story missions just push the story toward the inevitable future that awaits. We get the last Yiga Tower in Akala Tower by beating Yigas and fighting Tsuga again, and while the gameplay itself wasn't doing anything new, a new feeling emerged. I wasn't thinking about the combat anymore, but I was excited to see what happens next. I mean, the next story mission was fighting the Yiga Clan in their base. Now it had another Divine Beast battle with Varudania, which felt lackluster, but after that, it felt like I was cruising through the mission. I even got to fight Master Koga, who was very weird to fight again, with his very moveset, but we still came out on top. Defeating the Yiga was fun and all, but Zelda needs to get her powers soon. I never realized how much struggle she had to go through to obtain those powers. I only got to see her get the powers when she protected Link, but not what led up to that. But even though Zelda doesn't have her powers yet, we still are strong enough to protect her. I mean, a whole mission was dedicated to me protecting her, but deep down, none of this really mattered because her powers will only awaken once the Calamity happens, and if everything played out the way I remembered from Breath of the Wild, then we were about to lose.
So many are awaiting my inner power, believing in me.
Princess, it'll all work out. Everything will just align at the Spring of Wisdom.
That's not good.
Alright, it was fun while it lasted. It says we have to rescue King Rome, but I already know that King Rome is probably going to die. We had fun fighting the Guardians since we're so much stronger now, but knowing the fate of the kingdom upsetted me. I know we came back 100 years, but knowing that everyone here is going to die sucks. And it looks like I was right about my prediction because King Rome decides to sacrifice. That's weird. Apparently the robot did something, but the robot was not here in Breath of the Wild. Now that I think about it, it seems like the robot traveled from after Calamity happened and went to the past to prevent it. If that's the case, then maybe there's still hope. But I'm just speculating. I still have no idea what that beam of light was. But that doesn't matter. We have to save the champions. Daruk and Mipha were struggling hard against the Calamities, and they were about to lose as well. What?
No! What? I will not allow you to take her again!
What?
Sidon?
Sidon? Wait, I'm so confused. Hold on, backtrack. Whoa, what? I am confused. They're time traveling. Wait, these are people from Breath of the Wild.
My power. Who are you?
It's the robot. Is the robot making them time travel? Breath of the Wild people time travel to the...
Wow, so the robot actually did something. It summoned people we met from Breath of the Wild so they can help the champions. It all makes sense now. We can actually change the future. We don't have to be in a slumber for 100 years anymore. But the only problem is how Zelda is going to awaken her power since the future is changing. Well, it doesn't matter because we are going to save the champions. First was Mipha. She had Sidon, her brother, to help her out, and now we have to team up and beat Water Blight Ganon, which excited me to know that we get to fight all the Ganons way earlier. Though the fight wasn't too special. It was just pushing buttons and dodging the whole time. But I didn't mind that the fight was simple, because this was the first time I was fighting one of the Blights before Breath of the Wild, and that alone excited me. I was changing history, which shocked me because I thought this game simply retold the original story, but instead it expanded it on it, and even changed it, which is very bold of them to do. I mean, I wasn't expecting this. Now we have to save Daruk, but we also get access to Sidon, which I wasn't expecting. His moveset was very weird for me to use because it was so unique. It required timing, which completely threw me off, because most of the characters I can just spam and kill enemies real quick. Fire Blight Ganon was just like Water Blight Ganon, but kinda harder since his moves had greater AoE. But we just spammed ice at him and called it a day. A relatively simple boss to take down. The next champions had the same struggles as the other ones, with two people from the future showing up, just a repeat of events. Helping Urbosa was first on the list, and I was scared for this fight. If I remember correctly, this Ganon is extremely fast and one of the harder Ganons to face off. But when I started to actually fight him, he didn't live up to my expectations. He was fast, don't get me wrong, but I could still predict where he was going and fight back against him with the Master Sword. Overall, definitely one of the easiest boss fights yet. Unlocking Riju happened after the fight, and she was buds, bro. I can't even put this in an easy way. Her attacks were trash, her moveset was trash, movement was way too much, just one of the worst characters in the game. What a pain to play her, bro. She couldn't even kill anything without a million hits. It's fine though, because we got to fight the hardest Ganon yet, Wind Blight. Man, you could not get close to this guy. Though he was really big, it was hard to tell where his hitbox is. This was the first boss that made me think I could actually lose if I don't play my cards right. After rescuing the champions, we get a cutscene where the Yiga bosses are betrayed by the main villain. But man, even I could predict that. Like, look at him. He's got that Black Air Force energy. Luckily, we gained control of the Divine Beast with the champions back, but before we could stop Ganon fully, we gotta go and protect some people at Akala Citadel, which I'm fine doing since Zelda hasn't awakened her power yet, and without her power, well, Ganon is not getting sealed or defeated. Of course, when I meant protect people, I didn't mean shoot enemies in the Divine Beast. I swear, piloting the Divine Beast is so annoying because I've done it like 30 times in this game. But once that is finally over, we can use our boy Link to fight some enemies. We utilized our moves to stun the Guardian by performing a specific combo and repeated this process until we killed them. Sadly, neither Mipha nor Zelda has that stun ability, so back to spamming. We also fight Malice Guardians, which are just Guardians but can do more damage, which if we just kept dodging and attacking, it became light work. At the end of the day though, we finished the mission and saved some people. Next is Fort Hartano, where we gotta save more people. Okay, let's be honest. They just copied and pasted the same mission with Akala Citadel and thought I wouldn't notice. Like, it's got the same Divine Beast battle, just a different Divine Beast, fight the same monsters, same Guardians, and...
Oh, it's this guy.
Your thread will be cut here, Your Highness.
Impossible!
Oh my goodness. Lock in. Ooh.
I must act.
Holy pig! Party over, bruh. It's over. She got her sealing power.
Okay, I take what I said back. I didn't realize this is where Zelda would awaken her power, and get to use her new moveset as well. See, now, this is creative. I'm glad that I get to use a whole new Zelda, and not that Sheikah Slate Zelda we have been using. This one is actually more powerful and has a way better moveset. Of course, Link still gotta carry the mission since I didn't fully know how to use Zelda's moveset yet, but I'm just glad that she finally awakened her sealing powers. It just took forever. Also, after Zelda got her powers, she got mad confident. I mean, giving a whole motivational speech and encouraging all the soldiers. It was crazy. Also, an unlikely person came up again. Yep, the master of the Yiga Clan escaped and now wants to join forces with us. And he is playable. Welcome to the team, Master Koga. I did some side missions to get used to the moveset of Zelda because she had a completely different way of fighting, which I like. It's a new turn and twist on a character that was previously, well, simple but still buns. We even got to use Master Koga in a side mission, which was fun because his moveset is kinda OP. He has like a beam that stuns the enemy and it does decent damage as well. I wanted to use Master Koga more, so I put him on the team for the next main mission at the Great Plateau and started killing as many enemies as possible. I also had to utilize my main boy by killing the Malice Guardian, and with our power, we defeated the monsters and saved all the Hyrule Warriors. Also, somehow, King Rome survived. I guess he only survived because of the rune thing Zelda had, which he took from her. I mean, sure, that's cool, I guess. I honestly thought he would die. It's so weird that everything is working out. It was much worse in Breath of the Wild. But I think the problem with Hyrule Warriors is the fact that the story completely sidelined Link. Once he got the Master Sword, he was pretty much ignored, and the whole story started focusing on Zelda's journey and her struggles. Even after she overcame her struggles and got her divine power, the story still focuses on her fully. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely something I'm not used to, because all other Zelda games I played were in Link's POV, and the story being centered on Link. So seeing the switch up is very uncanny to say the least. I think I'll just have to get used to it though. Good news though, is that we get to play King Rome. We get to play Zelda's dad now. Man, they really ran out of ideas on who to use for this game, bro, cause, oh my goodness. Shockingly though, King Rome was really fun to use. He had like 2 movesets you could use at the same time, and different moves every time you switch between each moveset. I was mistaken to think that King Rome would be boring to play. Honestly, one of the better characters in this game. I mean, this game surprises me more and more every time I play it. Even the story is solid, but every story comes to an end. In order to end this story, we gotta take on Hyrule Castle and destroy Calamity Ganon. Now, this map is massive, and we gotta capture like 5 outposts. Best way to do this is to conquer and divide. So King Rome took out 1 outpost with its awesome moveset, Impa captured 1 with her fast moveset. Honestly, her moves are very decent, not the best character anymore. And Zelda with her sealing moveset, which was fun to use since I don't really get to use her often. And we can't forget, oh boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Link, who I've over-leveled like crazy, and his awesome moveset you can never go wrong with. Defeating some Guardians were a piece of cake, especially with King Rome, who chopped these guys up like they were nothing. And we finish off the mission with a Malice Hinox, so his moveset was easy to predict. Same with the Malice Talus. Now we can finally seal Ganon with the Divine Beast. Of course, it wouldn't be that easy. Every monster got revived again, bro. But like I said previously, I knew all their movesets. So it was just a lot of maneuvering and spamming those hit buttons, performing awesome combos. Though I was close to dying multiple times. We finish off the mission with defeating a Malice Lionel, and we finally enter Hyrule Castle to take on Calamity Ganon. Man, it took a while to get here, but here we are.
All of you despicable pests!
But that looks like...
So now there's an evil Terraco? Well, looks like we gotta take out the Blight Ganons and evil Terraco down. And especially take out that weird guy. So, Blight Ganons. First. 1, 2, 3, no more for me. The 4th one, being Windblight Ganon, was not easy to take out. But I got that dog in me, so we obviously come out on top. Cause I'm just that guy. Since we got those guys out of the way, we gotta take out Aster and myself. Myself? But since I got the Master Sword, Fink Link was easy to take out. Aster, on the other hand, was still not easy. Man, he wasn't easy the previous fight we had with him, but there was a slight satisfaction knowing I have a little struggle while fighting. Not that I wasn't struggling with the Blight Ganons from before, but Aster really pushed me to perform my combos correctly and not mess up. Difficulty in this game is usually a good thing because this game can be too easy most of the time. That's on purpose because I put the mode on like normal settings. If I really wanted a challenge, I could have redone the hardest modes in each mission, which I don't have time for that. I just don't have time for that. Of course, we still beat Aster, so he's got to run away like a little baby, and he sends out the big scary robot. Man, this is finna be a piece of cake. And I was right. I wasn't even using Link, and I was still cooking this robot. Of course, the robot also runs like father, like son, you know, or like father, like robot. Anyway, we had to chase after these guys again, and once we caught up...
How? The great Calamity Ganon selected me!
Yeah, you're about to lose, buddy.
This humiliation is...
What? What is that? No.
So we gotta kill our actual robot friend, Terrico. This kind of sucks. This robot is literally the only reason we got this far. Without Terrico, we would have had to sleep for 100 years. Everyone would have had to die. But, bro, man, taking out this robot guy was hard. Not because he was challenging, but because I had to take out a friend. R.I.P. Terrico. Zelda was not taking this lightly. She was really upset with Terrico's death. But it was not in vain, because this just encouraged Zelda to fight even more. Yo, I don't remember Calamity Ganon being a buffy guy, and we can't do any damage. How are we supposed to take him out?
Okay, finally. What? What? I am so confused. Wait, what? Oh. A bomb!
No more.
What? Terrico was still alive? I mean, hey, and man, he's still saving us, even on the verge of death. Like, oh my goodness, bro. Like, give him the GOAT status. Like, give him a trophy. We can finally attack this beefy Ganon, but that doesn't mean he was easy to take on. As you can see, Zelda was extremely low, and it didn't help that Ganon wanted to take the fight below. So Link, you're gonna have to finish this story off. With the Master Sword in hand, we can defeat the darkness Ganon possesses and keep him constantly pressured. Once we struck Calamity Ganon, Zelda did the finishing blow.
Come on! Oh, nice!
We did it. We saved Hyrule. Man, it feels good. And our guys from the future got to return back to their time, which was good because I was starting to wonder how they were going to get back without Terrico. Imagine if they were stuck here forever, man. Like, oh, sorry guys, you live in this timeline now. But finally, that concludes The Legend of Zelda, Age of Calamity, or Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. What a game. I think I have to be honest about this game. I misunderstood it completely from the jump. It was not the game I was expecting. I came in thinking it would just be another repetitive Combat Warriors game that I would force myself through because I am a completionist. And you know, it's already told the same story, so why would I need to, play it again? That makes no sense. But as the game went on, the combat opened up and the story surprised me again and again. But this doesn't make the game perfect. Let me be clear, there were still a lot of problems that bothered me, whether that be the combat, the characters, or the story. Don't get me wrong, it's still a very solid game. and I enjoyed my time with it. And you know, that's something I never would have guessed, considering I don't play these kinds of games a lot. It's honestly a solid 5.5 out of 10 game. I wanted to give it a 6, but I keep thinking of those problems and it pulls it back from reaching a 6. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't fully understand the game. Maybe I just didn't give it the chance it needed. Tell me in the comments what you think, guys, but as always, have a blessed day.